I'm TerryDavidMulligan, and this is Mulligan Stew podcast, music, film, food, and wine. The film plays in because next week, Meg Whitman, who is the CEO of Quibi, QUIBI, her partner, Jeffrey Katzenberg, the two of them are huge players in the entertainment business, frankly, in business in general in the United States. And I got Meg on the phone. We talked about Quibi, which is this new platform that launched Monday, the 6th of April. Nothing longer than 10 minutes. No film longer than 10 minutes. No television series longer than 10 minutes. It really is, if you think about it, going to be a very interesting run for this platform. And who knows what entertainment will look like a couple of years from now. It's moving so quickly. So, next week, Meg Whitman, CEO of Quibi, on the Mulligan Stew podcast. But this week, it's the kid. It's rockin' Roy Forbes, who has been making music for a long time. But we're celebrating a couple of things. One, his show on CKUA Radio, province-wide in Alberta, called Roy's Record Room, is celebrating its 14th anniversary Sunday. And Roy has released his new album. It's called Edge of Blue. He is a great singer, wonderful storyteller, and a really fine songwriter. Love this album, and I thought we'd just make a fuss over Roy Forbes. Please enjoy. I am talking to broadcaster, writer, father, singer, songwriter, actor. Can I throw actor in there?
Never done
that. No, yeah, I can understand that. Roy Forbes has joined me on the line from Roy's Record Room on CKUA and other good broadcasting things from the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame. Where's your star, Roy?
It's right out just across from the Orpheum. I think it's right by the venue.
Oh, okay.
The venue.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could talk about Roy's Record Room, and probably will, but it's far more important right now that we talk about your brand new album that has just come out, and your first official CKUA function here. Tell them about this album. What's the name?
The album is entitled Edge of Blue.
There's a lot of blue in there. There's actually two songs with blue in it.
Yeah.
Is this shading, or is this a feeling?
It's just kind of the way things worked out, like life.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess there are two blues. There are a couple of hearts, aren't there? I think there are a couple of hearts.
Well, you've always sung about heart. Yes, of course.
I have, yeah. And there's even a moon.
There's even a moon. There's always moons.
Yeah.
How many years has it been since Kid Full of Dreams, that first album?
75. That came out the fall of 75. Now I'm not great at math. I think it's going to be 45 years. 45 years. I guess I am good at math when it comes to fives.
And just using that phrase, Roy, what were your dreams with that first album? What did you think? Did you sell yourself a bill of goods? What did you think was going to happen?
I didn't really know. At that point, it had taken me forever to get to make an album. I had already been in the business 4 years, and that seemed like a really long time. So, I managed to make that album with Claire and with Casino, and I just wanted to keep going, and here I am.
And here you is. Was there a time when you thought you wouldn't make another record, or was there always going to be another record?
I think there was always going to be another record. There was probably a time when I was concerned about writing, because the writing had slowed down a bit, but it came back, and I'm so happy it did.
Did it go? Listen, let's put it this way. When you started Roy's Record Room, did any of that music that you were playing and rediscovering, and well, when I say rediscovering, it's like you knew the music, but you hadn't played it in a while. Did any of that kickstart some of the song writing concepts?
I think just the general tone of what I play on the room, and I really have been getting into soul, playing a bit more soul, with those great Atlantic 45s and all of that. So, and Sam Cooke, I mean, he's on there a lot. His Night Beat album, I did a special on that album a couple of years ago. And that's the way the songs went, not intentionally, but because I'm not an intentional songwriter. I start at something, and what comes out comes out.
Wait a minute. Do you start with a riff? Do you start with a word, a thought, what?
Well, I generally start with a feeling. I start with a feeling, and it could be a title, it could be a riff, it could be a couple of chords that sound good together. And, let's say you got a couple of chords that sound good together, and then you start making sound with your voice, and you don't know what it is, and you start making sound, and pretty soon a word comes out, and another word, and then you start to feel,
yeah.
Hey,
so
wait a minute.
The words and the phrases start to mesh with the song, the beat, the
with
rhythm.
the beat and the chords and the melody and everything, and then occasionally a word will actually emerge. And, you go from there. I think Don't Let Go is like that. I'm playing La Bamba, playing the La Bamba chords.
It is the La Bamba chords. I couldn't believe it when I heard it the first time.
Totally.
I said,
totally.
wait a minute, that's La Bamba.
Absolutely. Yeah, long live Richie Valens. So, I'm playing those chords, and I'm just scatting around, and this melody came, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I thought, ooh, better turn on the tape deck.
Hey, Roy.
I'm using a cassette deck.
Hey, Roy, we have a radio station here. Why don't I just play the damn song?
Do it.
This is Don't Let Go. Not the Roy Hamilton, Don't Let Go. This is the Roy Forbes.
What a great record that is.
Oh, great. Here's Roy's Don't Let Go. Rockin' Roy Forbes and his brand new album. The track is called Don't Let It Go, and we were talking about Roy Hamilton. That's a pure gospel record that he put out.
He out Elvis's Elvis on that. I mean, he influenced Elvis, right? We know that.
When they recorded, they were in matching studios at one point. They were recording side by each.
They were, and didn't Elvis give Roy a tune? He had a tune, and he gave it to Roy,
and when Roy passed away, Elvis was sent a very warm note that was read out at the ceremony.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, but Roy did that after Elvis hit. He did it in 57. So you can hear, you hear the gospel influence that both of them had, but you can hear that Roy's heard Elvis and he thought, okay, it's a little like James Brown and the Stones on the Tammy Show.
yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Roy Forbes is on Mulligan Stew and Mulligan Stew, the podcast. And you surrounded yourself with friends. I mean, you mentioned Claire Lawrence way back when. All three of us go back a long ways. Claire was playing saxophone there, but he was also lending support. And you needed the band. So you needed Brian Newcomb on bass. Fantastic. You had Chris the Wrist Norquist on drums and John Reichman on mandolin.
Not too shabby, eh?
Not
so
too
far,
shabby.
Yeah, we were doing all right.
And you produced it, right?
I produced it, yeah, I did. I thought, I had toyed with the idea of maybe getting some help, but I thought that I really knew how I wanted these songs to sound, how I wanted things to go. So I just went in and did it.
How long did it take to write Lydia Ann?
It didn't take too long, but I had to get permission.
You had to get it right.
And I had to get it right. And the key line in that song didn't come for a month or two. The key line is in the end of the second verse, no piece of paper or a wedding band. And when that line came, like a couple months after I'd written the main thing, then I knew I had the song.
And it was going to rock.
Yes, it was going to rock. That like Little Richard, that the Beatles, Creedence Clearwater, Crystal Ship, which was my band in Dawson Creek in 1968. It's got all of that feeling. And you know what else it's got? When I was in grade 5 and the Beatles came out, I was a star on the playground at elementary school for maybe a week. I'd get out and belt out, I saw her standing there, and all of, you can't do that, just shrieking like John and Paul.
How long have you and Lydia been together?
We have been together 51 years.
Oh, man.
50, coming on to 52.
It took 52 years to get this song out?
Yeah, well, there's been a few others.
There had, yes.
But Lydia Ann, it's just like Lucille or Peggy Sue or any of those classics. There's another one now, Lydia Ann.
All right, let me play it. This is Lydia Ann, the one, the only, Rockin' Roy Forbes.
1, 2, 3.
The name of the album is Edge of Blue. It's a new release on AKA Records. It's Roy Forbes. And AKA was always the little title that segue between BIM and Roy Forbes and BIM, also known as BIM. And so here we are. We've come full circle. I'm looking at all these titles here. Which one jumps at, I'll throw a couple at you here. More Than a Little Bit Blue, Feeling Mighty Lonesome. The one I've been playing, Big Mouth Shut. Heart Have Mercy. And Rumble Strip. But of those, which one do you want to talk about?
Which one do I want to talk about? Well, let's talk about Rumble Strip.
Okay, now here's the deal. A rumble strip from my Mountie days is the they used to call it the drunk bumps. It's the sleeper lane. It's if your car slides off the side of the road and you hit those dips, those little it keeps you in the lane, right?
Yeah.
Was that what you were thinking about?
Absolutely. I have played a show at Brackendale, the Brackendale Art Gallery, in March of 2019. And I've done that Sea to Skyway many, many times. But this is the first time I've done it without being able to see what's going on. So we're driving down after the gig, and I can see it's dark. I can see the flashers in my mind. All that stuff they have on the highway to keep you going. And then Lydia was driving, and the tires hit the rumble strip. And I said, "Hey, that's a rumble strip, isn't it?" And Lydia said, "Yeah." And after about 2 months of work, I had the song.
Hey, Roy, this is a soul record, isn't it? It's a soul record. It's kind of like a...
It is a soul record, you know that? It's a soul record that I've always wanted to make, and I didn't intend on it being that way, but it's the way the songs all fell together, yeah.
Tell me about, are you going to tour behind this?
Well, as much as I ever do these days. We've got a few shows here, a few shows there,
And you're coming to Vancouver Island, I hear.
I am. April the 4th at the Mary Winspear Centre and April the 5th at the Duncan Showroom.
And festival season, could you see yourself doing some festivals?
I may. We got it out a bit late for this summer, so who knows. But next summer, maybe.
Oh, yeah, because they do have to book well in advance, don't they?
Well, they do, and we didn't get it out till late February. So, You know what? It just, like the song says, you just put one foot in front of the other.
The Hank Williams, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. You still do that, don't you?
I haven't done it lately.
Okay.
I haven't done it. Occasionally, when pressed, I'll sing it a cappella. But I haven't done it.
Is there any relationship between Feeling Mighty Lonesome and I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry?
Not really. No. Feeling Mighty Lonesome is, I joked when I played it at the release party at the Rogue. I said, "Okay, folks, I'm going to see how far I can get with one chord." And I get quite a ways with it. Really, if you listen to it, there's one chord, except for that weird middle part, where it goes kind of haywire for a minute. But then it goes back to the one chord and settles in. And the fun thing about Feeling Mighty Lonesome is it's a band fade, as it goes on the end.
Yeah.
I said to the guys, "Okay, we got to do a band fade here." So we did. And by the way, all the vocals on this record and the acoustic guitars are live off the floor with the band.
That's the way it used to be done.
That's the way I did Kid Full of Dreams.
Big Mouth Shut. I love that. It's my hot AC single on Mulligan Stew. What was the genesis of that song?
Well, sometimes you'll say something to somebody that maybe you shouldn't have. I mean, I don't know if you've ever done it, Terry. But I have a case. When I play it live, I say, well, of course, this is something I've never done, but I've done my research, and I'm putting myself in other people's shoes.
Sure, yeah.
Anyway, it started out with the title, big mouth shut, and then I'm shaving and I'm kind of going, I'm shaving away and humming, and I'm thinking, wow, this is kind of like Springsteen, or maybe Elvis or something, and ran to the guitar, and the song just kind of came out. And what really makes it happen on there are two things. Phil Robertson's drum part is so incredible, what he does. And I'm playing a bit of psychedelic flat top acoustic guitar.
Psychedelic flat top.
Well, yeah, kind of psychedelic flat top, because, it's when I did the acoustic guitar overdub, I made sure it wasn't too perfect. I did it quickly, and it works. It sounds like, a little band from the early 70s just giving her.
Hey, can I ask you about Heart Have Mercy? That's a good tune, man. Good tune.
That came from a title. And again, these songs come to me when I'm shaving. I'm shaving away, and I had the title floating around, and I'm thinking of Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions, and you remember those lovely Strat chords?
Of course.
That he would play those little high things. So I'm shaving away, and I start going, I can hear the guitar in my head, and I go to the Gurion and I start to play it, and there are so many influences in that song. I mean, there's Sam Cooke, there's the Stones, there's Curtis Mayfield.
Oh no, it's got soul.
And it got a little Roy Forbes in there too.
Okay, so here's the deal. Have you ever so wanted to get something down that you stopped mid-shave, walked over and wrote it down or played it or sung it? And are you shaving with like a foam and stuff on your face?
Yeah, a little body shop,
But Roy, you can't see.
You learn how to do this stuff.
I know it's your face, so your face.
I do it by feel, like I do a lot of things.
That's right.
I shave like I play my music.
Okay. There's a shot there. I can see that shot in my head. I can see you with a face full of foam, writing, singing and writing. There's a video there.
Well, there could be. Anyway, lyrically, it's a dark night of the soul that we all have every now and again.
And finally, one more track here. More Than a Little Bit Blue.
Yeah. Well, that song, I wrote it for my sister Lillian. I don't know if you ever met her, but she was my, I've often referred to Lillian as my CKUA, actually, because she was born in 41. So she was that much older than me, who was born in 53.
Sure.
And she always supported me in my musical endeavors. She was like my biggest cheerleader. She bought me my first two Bob Dylan albums, Freewheelin' and Blonde on Blonde.
Sure.
I first heard jazz singing through her, Sarah Vaughan and Tony Bennett and things. Later on, she bought me my first Billie Holiday album.
Okay.
She passed in 2015. When I got into my songwriting jag, I started to write this song. I didn't know really what it was about at first. Another one where the lyrics come out of a melody, and I'm playing away. And I think it was only when I got about half or 2/3 of the way through it that I knew that it was for her.
When you sing that on stage, where do you go? When you sing it, can you see her in your mind's eye? Are you singing it for her?
I'm singing it for her, and I'm singing it for all the people in all of our lives who have passed, but who remain in our hearts.
How do you like your legacy you've left behind?
Yeah, and Lillian, a huge legacy. She was a bigger than life character, and and I mean everyone that we love who has passed, they're still with us, and really that's what that song is for. It's for all of those people and all of us.
This is for Lillian, Rockin' Roy Forbes from Edge of Blue.
I'm here, you're gone, cold black night crawls to the dawn, and I am more free, but that brings no comfort to me, and I am more than a little bit blue. I wonder why we had to say goodbye. Makes me so lonesome. I could cry. Oh, you blew away. You're gone. Yes, I learned how to carry on. Right now I'm more than a little bit blue. Yes, I learned how to carry on. Right now I'm more than a little bit blue. Ooh, right now I'm more than a little bit blue. Sit here and cry. The tears are rolling down. The tears are rolling down. 'Cause I am more than a little bit blue.
That's More Than a Little Bit Blue. Roy Forbes, who be adding to his repertoire when he gets out there and sings, although he's very busy doing Roy's Record Room. How many years now doing the room?
I think on April the 10th it will be 14 years. Yeah. And, when I had my accident, my daughter, Susanna, who, by the way, is now Riley, stepped in and helped me with the show, doing all the digital editing and all of that.
Of course.
But in early August of 2019, after a bit of work, I took over doing the whole thing again. So I'm editing digital audio, and I'm doing the whole darn thing on my own again. And it feels really good.
We'll talk about this. I need to know how that edit works, because I love editing, and it's fun to mess around with it. But it takes some skill. You have to want to do it. If it's a chore, you just hate sitting in the room and editing.
Yeah.
Who is the audience for Roy's Record Room?
Oh, that's a big question. I think it's people like you and I who love music and who love, the meandering that I do. They don't want to hear classic rock radio. If they want that, they can tune in classic rock radio. But, all my life I've wanted to know where music comes from. So if I listen to Bob Dylan, I think, well, what kicked his ass? What got him going?
Yeah.
And so I'll go back and I'll find, and I'll hear a Jimmy Reed record and I'll say, hey, that sounds like Bob on, I don't know, It Takes a Lot to Laugh, Takes a Train to Cry, or whatever. And then I'll say, well, okay, what got Jimmy Reed going? And onward and onward. And it's just an endless anthropological, is that the right word? It's an endless dig. I just love it.
I made a note to myself here, Roy. I'm just talking to you and I here for a second. The harmony on tracks 9 and 10, I don't have them listed in front of me. What's track 9? Do you remember?
Well, track 9 is Heart Have Mercy.
Okay, and what's
which, by the way, is my favorite track right now.
And what's 10?
10 is Rumble Strip.
Okay, fine. Hey, Roy, there's one more track I want to play. And I love the harmony voice that comes in there. I know you do your own harmony, but Rebecca Shoy-Cat does harmonies on 2 tracks. I'm going to leave the audience with Heart Have Mercy. And I love the combination of your voices. Will we hear more of this? And tell me about the track to lead out.
Rebecca is remarkable. I met her at the Motown Meltdown. She was there years ago. I met her, and she was performing on her own. But we connected last fall at a Steve Dawson show in West Vancouver. He likes to reimagine these albums, and I've been invited along. I think the 4th one is coming up in October. We're doing American Beauty, Grateful Dead album.
Nice.
But last year we did Tom Petty.
Of course.
The Full Moon Fever, and my second choice of a song was Here Comes My Girl. And I took Here Comes My Girl and I turned it into the soul ballad that Tom never did. I slowed it down and turned it into 6/8, and she happened to be one of the 2 backup singers. And we had a quick 2-minute conference beforehand where I threw out some ideas of what I had that they could do. And, of course, they took that and ran with it. And Rebecca was doing the 2-part harmony, because I'm a 2-part harmony guy. I love that. Like Phil and Don, like John and Paul.
Sure.
I'm a 2-part guy. And when we got to the, you're building up and it goes, here comes my girl. I mean, it was smoldering up there. The stage was on fire. And when she came in behind me and we sang those words together, it was like liftoff.
Wow.
I can't even describe it. It was...
goosebumps.
It was goosebump time, and it was the 2 of us working leaning into each other. And afterwards, I thought, I got to get this gal in the studio. So I got her in not long after that to do vocals on both Heart Have Mercy and Rumble Strip.
So we played,
and she gave the songs what they needed.
We're going to end with Heart Have Mercy, which is the kind of song that you want to be singing anyway, Roy. It's what you do best.
It's my favorite track right now, so I'm glad we're ending with it.
Okay. We'll see you in Roy's Record Room. I know that Mulligan Stew is your all-time favorite show on CKUA Radio.
It absolutely
I don't
is.
even need an answer. I would fill in the blanks anyway. Thank you, man. We'll see you on Vancouver Island.
Thank you, Terry.
And congratulations on your new music.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and an honor to be speaking with you about it.
AKA BIM, Roy Forbes. Edge of Blue is the name of the album. If you can go to his website, royforbes.ca, it's on AKA Records. I'm sure you'll find a way to buy it, stream it, put some money in the man's pocket. Thank you, Roy.
Thanks, Terry.
I was going to say something about Roy being visually impaired going into the interview, and then I thought, no, let's let it run, let it go. And then at the end, we'll remind people that Roy had sight when he started his career, started to lose it a bit, but still he could see who was talking to him. And then in his studio, a stack of 45s or 78s fell on him, detached the retina, and he can see light, and that's about it. And he carries on. He does radio. He writes songs. He creates music, has a life, has a wonderful family. That's Roy Forbes. It doesn't really play into the narrative. The album is Edge of Blue. Go have a listen. Go have a look. Let's put some money in the man's pocket. It's really good. He's good. Roy Forbes. Congratulations, Roy, on your 14th anniversary of Roy's Record Room, CKUA, and Edge of Blue. Next week, Meg Whitman, the CEO of Quibi, who have launched a platform that will show videos and films and television series in 10-minute lengths. It may be the future of television. We don't quite know yet. We're going to find out. This is Mulligan's Do the Podcast, Music, Film, Food, and Wine. We stream on Spotify, Google Play, or Apple Podcasts. Please consider subscribing to any one of those platforms. We appreciate it very much. Our home website is mulliganstew.ca. Have yourself a great week. Please be careful, be safe, be kind.